Bahamut Lagoon was released on February 9th, 1996, only in Japan on the Super Famicom, just about 4 months prior to the release of the N64 in June of that year. It is available to play in English thanks to the work in the early 2000s of the painfully named DJAP translations. The now defunct fan translator team was headed by the talents of Clyde Tomato Mandelin, known for his work on the Mother 3 translation and for going on to work at Funimation. Bahamut Lagoon is an interesting mix of Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy. The overhead battles appear to be the same as most tactical RPGs, but a few minutes into the first chapter, you'll realize Bahamut Lagoon plays a little different than most. That is because when you initiate an attack up close, you're given control over your specific units that make up your squad in a Final Fantasy type turn-based battle of one turn. The long-range attacks play out like any other tactical RPG, but those head-on clashes add an element of risk. The long-range attacks can't be countered, but yield less reward/experience, whereas the up-close battles give you an opportunity to do more damage, but open you up to a counterattack. Another unusual element of Bahamut Lagoon is its dragons. In the game, you are usually outnumbered and outleveled. What you have that your enemy does not are powerful AI dragons. They can move anywhere on the map in one turn. This range of movement may seem like an unfair advantage, but these dragons aren't under your direct control. They can be given 3 commands: come, go, and stay. Which enemies they attack and what magic they use on those enemies is not up to you. Careful command is necessary to keep your dragons productive and alive, and you are definitely going to want to keep those dragons alive. Each dragon is linked to one of your squads. A squad consists of 4 units, and if a squad's dragon dies in a battle, they lose large stat boosts and the ability to use special abilities until the next battle. That said, it's better to lose a dragon than a squad, because no squad means the dragon disappears as well. But that's not it for the dragons. A part of the game I didn't think I was going to like but ended up enjoying was the ability to feed your dragons. Before each battle, you have the chance to feed your dragons anything. Have some leftover swords from your last battle? Feed it to your dragon. Found a porno magazine in a drawer on the ship? Feed it to your dragon. Feeding your dragon is the key to raising the stats of your dragons and ultimately transforming them into better dragons, most of the time. This game does have some of the ugliest sprites I've ever seen. Don't mistake my words, I don't mean that the sprites aren't well done, but damn, some of the dragons are just butt ugly. Your squads can be customized and rearranged. I kept most of the unit combinations the same. Having multiple of the same kind of unit in a group raises their strengths but also compounds their weaknesses. For instance, my heavy armored unit was a force to be reckoned with when they arrived 2 turns later than the other units because they are so slow. You have nothing too out of the ordinary with the unit types. You have your wizards, priests, fencers, lancers, knights, and one weird class, mini devils, which I'm pretty sure are just Moogle knockoffs. The story centers on Princess Yo-Yo and her journey to save the world by harnessing the power of the 6 holy dragons. I won't go too into the story in case you want to play it at some point, but I will highlight the weird love triangle mess that I found very funny and awkward to play through. You play the main character, Mew. He's the captain of the Kana Dragon Squad. You're a childhood friend with Princess Yo-Yo, and at the beginning of the game it looks like the basic love story complete with cringeworthy dialogue choices like, "Is it okay if I hold on tighter?" and so on. Early on, Princess Yo-Yo is captured by the opposing empire because of her abilities as a Dragonar, someone who can read the thoughts of the holy dragons. Key to saving the world, yada yada. Once you rescue Princess Yo-Yo, it becomes apparent that she's fallen in love with one of the enemy commanders and that you, have been friend-zoned hard. Then again, it does seem like most characters are in love with the princess. I felt the need to mention it because I've never seen dialogue like, "When I'm not fighting, I want to be with Pal Palios. He cheers me up, just like you used to, Mew." Then there's the music, done by Noriko Matsuda, who I know best for doing the boss theme for Chrono Trigger. She does an admirable job with the soundtrack. Like most tactical RPGs of the era, the music can't handle the length of the game. The soundtrack is a little over an hour long, and for a 30-plus hour game, that means a few of the themes get a little grating. Despite that, there are some tracks I will certainly come back to. Bahamut Lagoon is a solid tactical RPG that holds up 20 years after its release. Not only an above-average game, but a game that we weren't supposed to have, and a game that gives rare insight into what Square tactical RPGs look like before they hired the main members of Quest who would go on to create Final Fantasy Tactics. On the next episode of the Tactical RPG Odyssey, Valkyria Chronicles Remastered.